All right, gang, I wanted to do another little kind of special episode here for New Year's. This has been a journey for me, I can say that. And maybe with what you're about ready to hear, it's something that, because this was written before all this started, before I dropped the first episode of the show. I think we'll probably be sitting at 47, 48, or 49, can't remember, but somewhere just shy of 50 when this comes out. So this is something I wrote in a journal entry. This was not contrived. This was just something that kind of naturally flowed out of me one morning, mid-January or mid to late January in 2024. And it was, I think, impactful to me at the time, but also, I shared it with some folks that were important to me, and the feedback was that I should put it out there. And so wasn't able to do it earlier when the right time, but this seems like the right time to do it. So here we go. So this was Monday, 05/26 in my home living room. As I walked out of the bedroom this morning after getting up and ready, I noticed how dark it was leading down the hall. Today is one of the few days of the year where we do not have lights set up on a timer. You see, we're in a transition phase. The Christmas tree is not quite undecorated, therefore the furniture is not back in place with its ever-vigilant lamp. There is a protective paper strewn about the floor, creating a maze in the hall and foyer areas. Life in transition. It is certainly a metaphor for the real things. Making order from messy, the deliberate steps of trying to do the work, but sometimes not getting nearly as far as you'd planned, or as far as you'd hoped. Having to look around at the mess, knowing you have so much to do that you will not get to it in what you would consider a reasonable amount of time. The disappointment you feel that you didn't get it all done and that the complication of your life in the near future will only be increased because of it. The metaphor is real, yet we must move on, oftentimes with greater enthusiasm. We must keep the fire of our desire burning bright. We cannot be dissuaded by the mess of it all. We cannot be discouraged because it is lovely after all. The mess can take on a beauty of its own, the morphing of the chaos into order. The state of change becomes productivity itself. Ultimately, we must embrace the grind of the work, for it is in that by which the painstaking progress is made. It is the scratching and clawing at the bare earth that plants the seeds of future success. It is the mindless repetition, much like that of the worker on the factory floor, confident that one piece of labor combined with all others will produce that beautiful new car at the end of the line. It is the ability to shift between the different types of work with minimal interruption and friction that creates the decisive advantage. It is the will, the iron will, not to be defeated, to heed the failures of the past, the will to continue to step forward despite the pain that will inevitably come. The courage to continue to move forward knowing the criticism is just around the corner. Yes, the pursuit of anything meaningful is messy. Just because the process is disorganized and difficult does not disqualify you from pursuit. If anything, it has now become your duty. Not to anyone but yourself. Outside people will always be just that, outside. No, you owe this to yourself. You owe it to your lifetime of choices that were made for you. You owe it to your true self, that self that has rarely showed up in your work over the years. You owe it to your inner voice that's saying, what if I really did give it my all? You owe it to that little kid that dreamt of making a difference in the world. Hell, you owe it to the adult that wonders if you still can. You've been given a doorway that satisfies all the above. All you must do is walk through its threshold. You must understand the work on the other side is messy and nasty. Embrace it. Bring order to where you can. Use the nature of the situation to your advantage. Do the work. Embrace the journey because that is where the happiness and satisfaction for which you have been longing resides. David Malicoat, January 22nd, 2024, Allen, Texas.